When it comes to the Carmelo Anthony case, a lot of people are trying to reduce this to a black versus white thing. But I think the reality of it is much more layered than that, especially when it comes down to the sentencing. So I wanted to look up one of the cases that a lot of people in the comment sections were bringing up in comparison. So in Belton, Texas, you had Cason Allison, who stabbed Jose Ramirez in the school bathroom after they had an ongoing dispute. The jury convicted him of criminally negligent homicide. That's the lowest homicide charge you can get in Texas, although he received the maximum sentence of 10 years. In Frisco, you had Carmelo Anthony stabbing Austin Metcalf. He was found guilty of murder, and he got the middle ground within where his charges could have landed, which was 35 years. You got the same state, same type of weapon. You got 2 lives lost, and you got 2 families that lost their sons. Now, let's be completely clear. Both cases are tragic. Once again, 2 families lost their sons, and both defendants made decisions that ended a life. This isn't about claiming their innocence, because I believe they both are guilty. The real question is, how do we end up at 10 years versus 35? And the biggest difference starts with the charges. You got Cason Allison getting negligent homicide while you have a murder, and that alone creates a massive gap within the sentencing. But how did the juries land on this? And this is where I feel like the true blame comes in, because a big part was how the case was framed. Anthony's defense team leaned so heavily into the self-defense that there was no admittance of, hey, there is a portion of guilt, but here's the reasons as to why. That's a big gamble, because if the jury agrees, yes, you walk, but if they don't, as we see that they didn't, then it seems like you're just avoiding responsibility. So that justifies them giving not only a murder charge, but a longer sentence. In Allison's case, his defense team handled it differently. They said, no, he did it. He definitely did it, but it was in panic and poor judgment in the fight. Because of the way that they framed that gives the jurors a middle ground, not innocent, but not intentional murder either. That opens the door to a lesser charge. Then the media amplifies the difference, right? Because Carmelo Anthony's case was national. Track meet, public setting, debates about violence and race now, because we have black versus white. Although even in Allison's, it was white versus Hispanic, it stayed more local. A fight, a personal conflict, a situation that felt more contained. So before most people even look at sentences, the narrative is already shaped on how they feel. Now, where I land at, once again, both people are guilty. Both cases are tragic, but 35 years versus 10 years doesn't feel like a consistent standard for teens who took a life. And that gap isn't explained by just one factor like race. It's the charges, the legal strategy, and how the story is being told and was being told by the media. So the real question is, if 35 feels right, is 10 too low? And if 10 feels fair, what does that say about 35? I want y'all to be honest. Are you reacting on the facts, or are you reacting on how the story was framed? Comment down below.